All right, welcome. Today we're going to talk about a pretty fascinating system update, but no, it's not for your phone or your computer, it's for your own personal hardware, your body. We're diving into a guide on how to upgrade our physical selves to really align with our expanding consciousness, all with an eye on a big shift happening around the year 2035. So let's get right into it.
First things first, before you can do any kind of upgrade, you gotta run a diagnostic check, right? We need to figure out the core problem, and the material we're looking at today calls it hardware lag. Let's break down what that actually means.
I want you to just sit with this question for a second. Really think about it. Have you ever felt that disconnect, where your mind, your spirit feels like it's expanding, like it's ready to fly, but your physical body just feels heavy, like it's dragging behind, weighing you down? And yep, there's a name for that feeling. It's called hardware lag. That's the diagnosis for when your biological system, your hardware, just can't quite keep up with the latest software update for your consciousness. It's basically a sync issue between your mind and your body.
So, how do we fix it? How do we deal with this lag? Well, the solution starts with a really fundamental shift in perception. It means we have to completely rethink what our body is and what it's even designed to do. Let's see how we can reframe our whole understanding.
For the longest time, we've kind of thought of the body as just a vehicle, right? A car that gets our brain from one place to another. But this new perception, it's a total game changer. Think of your body as a highly sophisticated biological antenna, specifically designed to receive and process subtle energies and information from the universe, what the source calls high-frequency data.
Now, if your body is an antenna, this next part just clicks into place, doesn't it? What you put into it directly affects the quality of your signal. All that junk food, the processed stuff, it isn't just unhealthy, it's literal static. It's noise that's scrambling your ability to get a clear reception.
And that's really the whole point of this upgrade. The goal isn't just about trying to live longer or anything like that. Nope, it's about fine-tuning your personal antenna. It's about boosting your intuition and making sure you can receive that subtle information clearly without all that static getting in the way. Okay, so we've got the new mindset installed. Now it's time for the first big practical step. We're going to install some new nutritional software, which this guide calls the Ascension Diet Update.
A huge piece of this update is the 16-hour fast. This is a process that kicks your body into something called autophagy, which is basically its natural deep cleaning mode. But, and this is really important, the guide is very clear about not just jumping straight into this. A sudden change can be a real shock to your system.
Instead, it's all about a gentle, three-step approach. You start easy, with a 12-hour fast. I mean, you're sleeping for most of that anyway, right? Then you really focus on hydration. Flush everything out with tons of high-quality water. And finally, you start to shift your diet away from heavy, processed foods and toward lighter foods, things energized by the sun, like fresh fruits and vegetables.
And this right here, this is a crucial shift in how we think about food. The whole purpose of eating changes. You're no longer just counting calories for fuel. In this new model, you are consciously choosing foods because of the energy they hold. You're absorbing light and information to nourish your entire being.
All right, the next part of our BodyOS update has to do with something we do every single night, sleep. But we need to totally redefine its purpose. It's not just rest, it's a critical data transfer.
So let's just ask that question. Beyond resting your muscles and organizing memories, what is sleep really for in this new way of looking at things?
The answer is pretty profound. Sleep is your nightly cloud synchronization with the universe. It's the time when your individual system connects to the larger network to download necessary guidance, updates, and information.
And you can actually take an active part in this sync. Here's a super simple two-step protocol. First, disconnect from all the man-made networks. Turn off all your screens an hour before you go to bed. That cuts down on the static. Second, as you're falling asleep, set a clear intention. You simply state your purpose. Tonight, I connect to receive the guidance I need.
So, we've updated our perception, we've started updating our diet, and we've got a new sleep protocol. Now it's time to bring it all together and execute the final procedure to kick off the 2035 synchronization.
And remember the core principle here. Your body is a sacred temple. It's an incredible piece of biological technology. By making these gentle changes, you're making your body lighter, more receptive, and you're preparing it and your mind to ascend to whole new dimensions of awareness.
And that brings us to the very last step in this guide, a final important procedure to seal your intention. The source material proposes an initial sync test for everyone preparing for this 2035 network. So the comment section of this explainer is going to serve as that very test. By typing ready in the comments, you signal that your consciousness data is ready to be indexed in our secure servers. The like button is the approval process. It's time to complete your synchronization now.